Ruby's role model. Ruby always looked up to her cousin Wanda. Ruby was an only child in her family, so she saw Wanda as an older sister. Wanda was beautiful, smart, and talented. She had straight A's, played the piano, and had so many friends. Wanda also had a great sense of style. It was classy yet cute. Ruby was still in high school, but she knew she wanted to go to the same university as Wanda did. Wanda knew that Ruby looked up to her and she appreciated that. For Christmas, Wanda got Ruby a sweater with her university's logo on it. Ruby was so happy when she got the sweater. She put it on immediately and wore it almost every day. One day in class, Ruby raised her hand to answer the teacher's question and the teacher accidentally called her Wanda. "I'm sorry, you just look a lot like her," the teacher said. "Don't apologize, I'm flattered," Ruby said. Ruby was even in the same clubs in high school as Wanda was. Sometimes people made fun of Wanda for not having her own personality. However, the truth was Ruby was different from Wanda. Ruby was more goofy and girly. When college admission decisions came out, Ruby was so anxious to check the website to see if she got in. She closed her eyes and slowly opened them. She found out she got accepted. She called Wanda to thank her for reading her application. The next day Wanda took Ruby to look at the school. "A boy or a girl?" "Stuart and Brenda are having a baby together. Brenda is 7 months pregnant. Stuart and Brenda still don't know if the baby is a boy or a girl. The doctor had asked them if they wanted to know, and they said no. They do not want to know because they want to be surprised. They think it will make the day of the birth more special. Their friends and family do not approve. Stuart's mom wants to know the sex of the baby because she wants to know what color bib to buy. If it's a boy, then she will buy a blue bib. If it's a girl, then she will buy a pink bib." Stuart's mom has been nagging him to ask the doctor about the baby's sex. Stuart decides to listen to his mom's suggestion. Brenda is furious. She tells Stuart not to listen to his mom. Stuart is conflicted. He loves his wife, but he also loves his mom. Stuart decides to secretly go to the hospital to ask the doctor for the information. The doctor tells Stuart that the baby is a boy. Stuart tells his mom the news. She is happy. She goes to the store to buy a lot of blue clothes. Stuart tells his mom that she can't tell Brenda. Stuart's mom agrees. The next day, Brenda has a baby shower. Stuart's mom is also invited. When it is time for Brenda to open the presents, Stuart's mom hands hers. Brenda slowly opens it. It is a blue backpack. At that moment, Brenda knows she is having a boy. Movie hopping. Movie hopping is seeing multiple movies when you only paid to see one. Many people movie hop. It is very easy to do it. Most of the time you don't get caught. Norma got caught though. She did it a lot. The most movies she ever saw in one day was 7. She saved so much money. Her friends usually did it with her if it was just 2 movies. But if it was over 2 movies, they just left her. They thought 3 movies were too much. Norma went out on a date with Steven, who asked her what she wanted to do. She said she wanted to go to the movie theater. He said okay. They went to see a documentary on whales. After that, Norma suggested seeing another movie. "Okay, let me just pay for it at the front," Steven said. "No need for that. We can just walk into the next one," she said. "Isn't that illegal?" Steven asked. I mean yes, but everyone does it, she said. Not me. I think it's wrong. The movie industry loses a lot of money and that affects the employees at the theater, actors, and actresses, he said. Actors and actresses make so much money. They will be fine. Also, employees get the same hourly wage no matter what, Norma said. I don't think I can date you. We have very different ideals, he said. I agree, she said. Stephen left the movie theater while Norma stayed. She watched 3 more movies that day. From Skinny to Muscular. John grew up skinny. Because of this, he was bullied a lot. Bigger guys would push him around and girls would make fun of him for being skinnier than them. John decided to transform himself in college. He took advantage of the free gym at his college, and went there every day from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. He lifted light weights at first and then moved on to heavier ones. Every 3 weeks, he increased the weight he lifted by 5 pounds. He also did push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups. He also drank protein shakes before he worked out. Protein shakes helped him gain muscle mass. John also changed his diet, too. He started eating foods like beef, eggs, brown rice, and beets. In 6 months, John was no longer skinny. He was muscular and no one bullied him in college. He felt a lot happier, too. He felt more confident about himself and was happier going to class every day. His friends from high school noticed the change and complimented him on his healthier body. John was so inspired by his own body change that he decided to create a program teaching high schoolers how to get stronger. He first taught at his old high school, and then taught at several high schools nearby. Later he made a DVD about how to get stronger. The DVD was sold worldwide. Eventually John went on talk shows and wrote books about his journey. Riding a roller coaster. At Sunflower Middle School, the 8th graders would all go to the amusement park to celebrate the graduation and finally entering high school. Robert's group of friends were all excited to go, but he wasn't. The truth was that Robert was afraid of heights. A lot of the rides at the amusement park were fast and high. Robert didn't want to admit to his friends that he was afraid of heights. They would probably make fun of him and tell him he's not being a man. Robert told his teacher that he had a family trip that day. But Robert, it's a free trip to one of the most popular amusement parks in America, his teacher said. His friend overheard Robert saying he could not go. Robert, you have to go. Don't you want to spend time with us? We're all going to different high schools, Michael said. This was true. Maybe he can just go on the rides that are not roller coasters. Michael decided to go. He did want to see his friends one last time. At the amusement park, his friends wanted to go on the tallest ride first. Robert felt his hands shaking. His friends all got in line. As they got closer to the front of the line, Robert's hands started sweating. When they reached the front, Robert couldn't move. Robert, come on. It's our turn, one of his friends said. I'm too scared. I can't, he said. Just try it, you might like it, his friend said. Robert took a deep breath and went on the ride. He closed his eyes and the roller coaster took off. Robert actually liked it. He loved how the wind felt rushing against him. When they got off the ride, he wanted to go again.